I'd like to wish all of you a blessed Wednesday, beautiful spring day, and more snow coming. What more do you want out of life? You know, it's good to be together. One of the words that I've been thinking a lot about lately is the word endurance. And there's a passage in the book of James that talks about endurance, or perseverance too. Chapter 1, verse 12, where the apostle says, "Happy are those who persevere under trial. For when they succeed in passing the test, they will receive as their reward the life that God has promised." Perseverance, endurance. You know, it's been almost 2 years. I think it was like March 19th that we began the Thought for the Day and having to close down the church and then open it, and it's been quite a journey, and obviously it's not over yet. But one of the things that it takes to get through life, and many of you know this more than I do, and that's just plain, raw endurance. I'm sure there are days when you get up and you just don't want to go to work. You're too tired, and maybe you don't want to go to assisted living and try to spend the day taking care of the person you love. But you do it because that's who you are. I remember visiting one of you not too long ago. I went to your place of work, and I was thinking about your job, and your spouse was going through some health issues, and you have kids, and you're doing all kinds of stuff. And I said, "How do you get through the day?" And you just looked at me and said, "Reverend, you do what you got to do, what you got to do." And sometimes that's what you got to do. I'm sure there are days when Lenny or Doug or Debbie or Kathy would just as soon not come here and do what we have to do. But you do what you got to do, and we do the best we can. One of the pictures I took a while back, I like to come in here after it snows, and I take a picture of the church with the lights on. And there was one morning when I took a picture of the church, and there were tire tracks in the driveway leading up to the church. And I thought about those tire tracks, and it brought me back to thinking about my dad. And every morning, when I was a kid, my bedroom was on the second floor of the house, and it overlooked the driveway. And when it snowed, I would get up, it was early, and I would look out the window, and I would see tire tracks going out of the driveway, which was symbolic of my dad going to work. And every time it snowed, whenever I looked out, there were tire tracks. He had a little Volkswagen Beetle, a little car, and he just drove it every day. And every day I saw those tire tracks, and I thought to myself, my gosh, my dad goes to work every day. It doesn't matter how much snow, it doesn't matter what the weather is like, and he never misses a day of work. And I've always thought about those tire tracks and about his work ethic. He never talked about it, he just did it. It's kind of like you do what you got to do to take care of your family. And then I started thinking about my mom. In fact, I went through my desk the other day and I was looking through some children's sermon stuff and I came across some clothespins. Do you have any clothespins? And when I was a kid, Monday was laundry day at our house. And my mom was diagnosed with cancer when she was pretty young. And I remember when she was first diagnosed, I was home one day and she was out in the backyard hanging the laundry, and she loved to do that. She'd hang the laundry on the clothesline, and the clothes would blow in the air and they'd smell clean. And I would say, Mom, don't you think you should take it easy a little bit? You're a little sick right now. And she said, Don, you got to do what you got to do. And then I looked at the clothespin and I said, yeah, Mom, you're going to tell me you got to hang in there too. And she said, well, I guess you do, And so I thought of her endurance. And she would let nothing get in the way of doing what she had to do to take care of her family. And so I think, as I think about our church, as I think about the journey that we've shared for the past couple of years, when I look back in the past and to the future, I realize that one of the reasons we're still here and one of the reasons we're still strong is because we have an enduring spirit. And those are the words on the sign this week. An enduring spirit, what gives us the strength to do what we have to do to get through this. I think of those words of Jesus when he said, come to me, you who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest, because my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Oftentimes, our burden is not light, but knowing that God is with us, knowing that Jesus shares our journey, it gives us the endurance and the perseverance to get through every day. In closing, I'm doing a funeral in about an hour for a family that I don't know, but whenever I don't know the family, I always call maybe the wife or the husband or one of the kids. And so I called the wife, and she was talking about her husband, and I will meet them in just a little while. And I was about ready to hang up the phone, and the daughter said, please, Reverend, can I talk to you for a minute? And I said, well, sure. She said, my dad had a good business. He had a lot of friends. He did a lot of good stuff. But the thing I loved most about my dad was that when he saw somebody who other people had written off, when he saw somebody who was on the outside looking in, when he saw somebody who didn't fit in, he would do whatever he could to turn that person's life around. And those people whose lives he turned around over the past umpteen years, they're going to be at the funeral. And please mention that. Then I said, well, did your dad go to church? And she said, no, he didn't. And I said, well, maybe he didn't have to go to church, because it sounds like he was the church in the way he took care of his family and friends. So today I think of a lot of things: endurance, perseverance, and what it means to be the church. And when you do what you got to do to take care of those you love, then in you, in your spirit, the church comes alive. Good to talk to you, and weather permitting, we may see you on Friday. Thanks for listening.